This drop has been probably one of my favorite drops in a long time. This is definitely better than the previous one in my opinion. I was literally flying to the store to go smell all these. In today's video, I'm so excited to get into the brand new Disney Princess collection that just dropped. This is a follow-up on the previous Disney Princess collection that they already dropped, featuring Belle, Tiana, Jasmine, Moana, Ariel, and Cinderella. I did a video on all of that collection, which came out last year, so I'll link it up here if you want to see all of those. But I will just say this right off the bat, this is better. My favorite princesses are Belle, and I feel like I'm channeling my inner Belle today a little bit, but also Rapunzel, and I'm so glad that they have Rapunzel and also Aurora. I love Aurora. We have the OG Disney princess Snow White here. They came out with Mulan, so there's a total of 4 new Disney princess mists to this collection. But there's also this new scent when I walked into the store, and by the way, packaging is way better than the first round for these. It's so beautiful, and the packaging actually has aspects of each of the princesses, where I feel like the first drop didn't really have that as much. But they have this new scent called Life's a Fairy Tale, and if you know me at all, you know I like to make my entire life a fairy tale. As you can see from my background, I love earthiness, fairy tale, whimsical, anything. And also I grew up with Disney. I'm a huge Disney kid. I watch Disney movies like every night almost to fall asleep to this day, because the nostalgia and the feeling that Disney movies give you is just unlike anything else. Disney movies and Studio Ghibli. I love Studio Ghibli as well. Anyways, I'm gonna get into this collection. This just dropped, and it was such a vibe into the store going in today, because they were playing all the old Disney music and all the original Snow White songs, and it was just such a good time. Also, there is a ton of gorgeous candle holders and wallflowers and all of that, and I had to really restrain myself. First of all, they were kind of expensive, but also I'm just really not a huge candle person or wallflower person, so I would have just bought it because of the pretty packaging. It just wouldn't be functional for me. I have like one candle that I burn one at a time, and it wasn't a need for me. I'm really trying to stay away from over consuming. I try to get whatever I need nowadays, so yeah, but there is all of that, and it was very tempting because everything was so stunning. And last thing before we get into it, they did bring back 2 of the previous princesses from the last drop. They brought back Belle, which I got, and then they also brought back Tiana. I wasn't really a huge fan of Tiana the first time around. I felt like it was a little green, which very fitting to Tiana, but I personally just don't love those kinds of scents, so I skipped out on it this time around. But with all that said, let's get into all of these new Disney mists. I only have my favorites from this collection, so I'm gonna work my way up to my favorites. I'm gonna start off with these 2 first. So first, with Mulan. I'm gonna really show you, by the way, the packaging for all of these. This one's really pretty. Although I will say, with Mulan, I feel like it was one of the ones where I think they could have done a little bit more with this. It's kind of boring, and in my opinion, the bluish like teal packaging and even the scent is not giving Mulan. I would have maybe preferred that this would be in like a red packaging, because Mulan is, you know, she's powerful, and so I would have wanted that kind of vibe. But I guess the whole green and more fresh sort of take of the scent maybe goes with, I don't know, maybe all the nature that she's surrounded by. I honestly don't know. I would have personally preferred this to be a little bit more of a bolder scent, but nonetheless, here is Mulan. This one has notes of magnolia blossom, fierce waters, and radiant apricot. And for Mulan, it says determined, loyal, and clever. This is a nice scent. It smells very fresh and green and a little bit aquatic. It's aromatic, not so much in a citrus way, but more so just really watery, aquatic, with a little hint of that bright, juicy apricot, so it's a tad bit fruity, but mostly just a aquatic fresh with a hint of fruity kind of a scent. My rating for Mulan would be a 5 out of 10. I like it. It's a pretty scent, but it's not a standout scent, and I'm just, I guess, more so just disappointed in what kind of scent this is, considering it's Mulan. Like, I was expecting a little bit more, but nonetheless, it's a pretty scent. Then another one. This one is, again, not my favorite, but I do understand this one a little bit more. This is Snow White, and I think the packaging for Snow White, I think the other 2 are really pretty too, but I honestly think this might be my favorite of the packaging. I mean, it's got the red apple, it's got a little bit of gold, it's got the blue, and all the little apple details on all the branches. This one, I think this is my favorite, and I think it's the most accurate to Snow White, even down to the scent, even though the scent is not, like I said, a huge favorite for me. This is cheerful, generous, and resilient. It has notes of mystic red apple, obviously, ripened fruits, and enchanted woods. Very fitting notes. The scent of this one, this is a very, it is obviously an apple scent, but it's not a sweet candy like apple. It's more of a very, 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 very green apple scent. Extremely green, almost earthy. And so, I mean, obviously that makes sense, because when I think of that, I think of, you know, the forest scene and the enchanted forest and when she's running through all of it. And then also with the mixture of the apple, definitely goes with the movie. But I think personally, just because of my taste, I would have preferred more of a candy apple scent, you know? But then that's not really true to the movie, because it's not a candy apple. If anything, it's a poison apple. So, you know, makes a little bit more sense that way. I think it's just, you know, not my kind of scent per se, but it's so pretty. It's a really crisp, earthy, green, woodsy scent with a little sprinkle of a bright red apple. No. So that is Snow White. I would give this one probably, again, a rating of a 5 out of 10 just scent wise, but packaging wise, 10 out of 10. Then I have my two favorites of the new collection. These two were stand out to me. First of all, the packaging for these is beautiful. I love these princesses as well, but I love, love, love what they did with the scents of these. So I'm gonna start off with Rapunzel in no particular order, because I kind of just love them both and they're both equally my favorites. Love the packaging for Rapunzel. So gorgeous. Definitely giving Rapunzel. I'm obsessed. 11 out of 10 packaging for this one. This says creative, spirited, and positive. This has notes of glowing sundrop flower, rich nectar, and golden musk. This one, maybe you guys won't agree with me, because I feel like lately I've been kind of comparing a lot of scents to this perfume. But this is very nostalgic to me. It reminds me of the Taylor Swift Wonderstruck, and it also reminds me of the Wonderstruck, the second Wonderstruck, the one in the red bottle. It's almost a mixture of those two perfumes, and I love those perfumes. I talk about them so often on my channel, and they're so rare to come across nowadays, but this reminds me so much of those scents. It's that same purpley sweet. This is a very, very sweet scent. Not sickly sweet, not too like heavy sweet or even gourmand sweet. It's not that. It has a little bit of that floral vibe, but it's got a lot of depth coming in from something really sweet, and I don't know what the sweetness is coming from, but it literally reminds me so much of the Taylor Swift Wonderstruck line, the first one and the second one combined. If you grew up loving those fragrances, then you're probably going to love Rapunzel. This one's so nostalgic, and I definitely do think it fits Rapunzel really well. Can't stop sniffing this one. This is hands down one of the best ones. And following that, another one that is equally as beautiful but very different is Aurora. Also absolutely 11 out of 10 packaging for Aurora. I love the pink and the blue, obviously very fitting to the movie. This one is graceful, kind, and thoughtful, and this has notes of soft rose petals, sandalwood dreams, and sparkling fairy dust. This one is a rose scent unlike you've ever smelled a rose scent ever before. If you don't like rose anything, you are going to love this, because the rose in here is done in this candy-like way. It reminds me so much of lip glosses that I used when I was younger. It has that sweet lip gloss kind of scent, maybe like a MAC lip gloss, a Smackers lip gloss, something so nostalgic again about this one as well. The rose is a very sweetened rose. It smells to me like pink candied rose petals. If anything, it's a little sprinkle of a rose element in there, but covered in fairy dust. This is so pretty. It's such a pink and girly scent, and very, very fitting for Aurora as well. These two rating wise are like 15 out of 10. These are my favorites, not just from this drop, but even from the previous Princess Collection drop. These are so good. I love these. These are right up my alley and pretty much the epitome of all the kind of scents that I love. And then before I get to the Life's a Fairy Tale mist, I want to show this one because I did already try this from the last drop, but I decided to rebuy it in this one because I loved the packaging for this. Like I said earlier, Belle and Rapunzel are my two favorite princesses, and I love the packaging of this one. Like I said, this entire drop packaging wise was way better than the first drop in my opinion. This one says compassionate, intelligent, genuine. It has notes of rose petals, sparkling buttercup, and whipped vanilla. To me, this smells like a repackaged. It smells kind of like whipped rose latte to me. I hope that's the name, but I really like that one because it's that really sweet rose scent. This is more of a rose where it's like, okay, rose. It smells like roses, unlike this one where it's so much more pink and girly and it smells like a freaking Barbie doll. It's just way sweeter, whereas this one, it's a little bit more of a realistic red rose. Not in a bad way, still really pretty and floral and feminine, and then it has a little hint of sweetness to it as well. This one's more, I would say, more elevated, more classy, whereas this one kind of has a little bit of juvenile, sweet girly girl elements. But yeah, this one's really pretty, so I rebought that one because I love the packaging. And then the last one, this also caught me by surprise. I love the packaging. Kind of has a bunch of little emblems of the different Disney princesses. So there's the Disney castle, there's Moana's boat, Cinderella's shoe, Aurora's crown, the tangled star. I think this little comb is from Mulan. The magic carpet from Aladdin. The little green flower from Tiana. The shell for Ariel. There's just a ton of cute little elements from all the Disney movies, and I love the packaging of this. It's so fairy tale like and everything. That's what I said. This entire collection is right up my alley. I want to just put all these on display because all these miss, and all the colors and the packaging is just, it fits with my background so well. This one has notes of charming berries, floral fairy tale, and kingdom woods. What I loved about this entire drop is that none of these scents felt like repackages to me. They all smelled pretty original, to the point where normally when I like to explain mists to you guys, I like to relate them to other mists or perfumes, or just tell you something so that you can kind of get an idea of just other smells that they smell like. But with this entire new drop, I can't really tell you guys any other scent they remind me of because they're pretty original, so I love that. This one is so nice. This is a berry vanilla to me, but they're very deep berries. It doesn't smell like juvenile red berries. There's depth to them, almost like a plummy note that I'm picking up on, and then they're kind of wrapped in vanilla. Super pretty with a hint of woodiness. Such a beautiful scent. Not your typical berry scent that Bath & Body Works does a lot of, but just so stunning, and I love it. It definitely, in my opinion, gives fairy tale vibes. So those are all of the new scents. I'm so excited with this drop. From the experience that I had at the store with all the old school Disney music playing, to smelling these and absolutely loving them, this drop has been probably one of my favorite drops in a long time. Irregardless of the old princess collection, this is definitely better than the previous one in my opinion, but just in general, in a while, this is my favorite Bath & Body Works new release drop that I've tried in a good minute, and I haven't been this excited. I was literally flying to the store to go smell all these. Let me know which ones are your favorites from the collection and your least favorites. I hope that they bring us more of these. I hope that they bring more of the Disney villains, because they, you know, they started with that as well last year, so hopefully we get more villains. But that is it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video.